Hello and welcome to the fifth part of the revision videos for Unit 1, the online world. They keep coming, we've got a few more to go, but like I say, we're going to get through the whole unit, so hopefully everything you will ever need to know will be on these videos. This time it's on the World Wide Web, so last time it was the Internet, part 4 was the Internet, part 5 is the World Wide Web. There is difference, a bit of overlap as well, so we'll get right in. Things we're going to cover. The World Wide Web. What is the World Wide Web? We're going to talk a little bit about browsers and what they do. We're going to talk about web servers and what they do. The structure of web pages, how they're all linked together. We'll talk about URLs, what they are and what they do. We'll talk about HTML and what it is, what it does. We'll talk about hotspots, and we'll also talk about search engines. What is the World Wide Web? Last video on the Internet, I said that the Internet was all of the different devices that are connected, all of the cables, all of the computers. The World Wide Web is all of the information that's stored on all of those devices. So all of the web servers, all of the computers, anything that's stored that can be accessed over the Internet is going to be part of the World Wide Web. So all the web pages, all the videos, all the sound files, everything else, all put together make up the World Wide Web. Most of the data is saved on web servers. Those are all over the world, so when you make a website, you upload it to a web server, it will be stored on that web server. There are many, many millions of them all over the place, and that's where you get all of the information from for your websites. So web servers, as I say, this is where your data is stored. So whenever you make a web page, you upload the web page to your ISP, and it goes onto one of your servers, your ISP servers, which will look a little bit like one of these. Quite a few of them there. These buildings will be huge. There'll be racks and racks and racks of these. Once you've got that, and there's information on those web servers, what your internet browser does, so your Internet Explorer or your Google Chrome, Firefox, Safari, whichever one you might be using at the time, what that does is it reads the information that's on the server and turns it into a web page. So the information will be written in a specific programming language, which we'll talk a bit more about in a minute, and then it reads that information, it reads the program's code, and it uses that code to create a web page that then comes up on your screen. Everything is moved around, so that data is moved around, and so when you type in something saying that you want some information, it uses HTTP, which is Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Protocol just means a set of rules. So it uses this set of rules, the HTTP set of rules, to contact the web server, say this is what I would like, and then it gets that information back. So it's Hypertext Transfer Protocol that it uses to request the data, and then the information is sent back to you using TCP/IP, which we talked about in a previous video. And then it all gets sent to your computer, reassembled, and lo and behold, your website appears for you. Structure of web pages. So every single page has a unique address or URL. That's the www.google.com bit. All of your web pages that you have on a website will have hyperlinks on them. Hyperlinks are things that you click on, and when you click on them, they take you to another web page. So you click on it, your browser says, right, that's a hyperlink. That means I now need to go to this URL or this web address, and it will take you to a different page. And then all of your websites are all linked together using those hyperlinks. They might be in a menu bar at the top, they might be down the side, it might be stuff inside the text or particular pictures that you click on, and it takes you to different places. But all of your site will be linked together using those hyperlinks where you just click on it and it takes you to a new page. And that's how web pages are structured. Right, so the URL or Uniform Resource Locator. So as I said, this is the web address. So an example of a web address might be http://www.amazon.co.uk/music/gangnamstyle.mp3 in case you happen to want to download that particular track. for whatever reason you might want to. So there are three main parts to this. There is the scheme, there is the host, and there is the path. So there's three parts to this: the scheme, the host, and the path. So the scheme is which protocol or which set of rules it's going to use to run that website. So it could be HTTP, or Hypertext Transfer Protocol, which we talked about before, which would be this bit here. So the HTTP bit, that is the scheme, the type of language that it's going to use and the type of rules that it's going to use to actually make that website come up on your screen. It doesn't have to be HTTP, it could be HTTPS, which is the secure version. So if you've got a little HTTPS on a website, you know that it's got some security on it. If it's got a little padlock on the browser somewhere as well, that also means it's a secure site. So HTTP, that's the scheme, the first bit there. Then you have the host, which is the address of the owner of the site. So in this case, the host is www.amazon.co.uk, because they are the people that own that particular website or run that particular website. So basically up to the .com or the .co.uk or the .gov or .org or whatever it might be, up to that bit from HTTP, that's the part that is the host. They're the people that are hosting the website, they're the people that own the website. Then after that, the last bit is the path. And the path is the route that you need to go to once you get to that website to get to your particular file. So in this case, you go to amazon.co.uk, you go into the music folder, and inside the music folder is gangnamstyle.mp3. And then you'd be able to download that and that would find it for you. So those are your three parts. You've got the scheme, which is the HTTP. You've got the host, which is the www.whatever.co.uk.com.org, whatever it might be. And then you've got the / and everything after that is the path that you need to use from there. So scheme, host, path. Easy. Hypertext markup language. So HTML. No doubt you've heard of this. This is the programming language that's used to actually make a web page. So all web pages are normally written in HTML. Your browser, so your Internet Explorer or your Google Chrome, can read HTML and then uses that to make a web page. So it brings in the colours, it brings in the text, it puts the images in the right place, sticks any hyperlinks in, puts any videos in, all that kind of stuff. It uses that to read what's on the page and assemble the page on your screen. Now you use tags in HTML, these are things here, like the spiky brackets, greater than or less than ones, and those will define different parts of a page. So for instance, you might have a little bit in your code somewhere that says P, which is means starting a line of text, a paragraph of text, and then you might have John's videos are amazing, which of course they are, then followed by a closing tag with the P but with a / on it. So you start a section by putting the opening tag, and then the closing tag is always the same as the opening tag but with a / in there as well. So that would be start the writing, John's videos are amazing, close the writing. That's how it works. Right, by now you probably will have done a bit of HTML already. Just to give you a reminder of a few different tags that you might be using. So HTML is the bit that says that you're starting up a brand new website. Title will be title at the top of the page. BR is for a break, so a line break, so it just misses out a line. Helps you with when you're doing paragraphs and if you're trying to move text and images away from each other on the page. Head is the header, that's the bit that goes in the top of the page. Body is the main part of the website where you've actually got the content, all the content is going to go inside there. A is for a hyperlink, so whatever you put inside that will be a hyperlink. P, as we said, is for a new paragraph, and table is for tables. So an example of a very, very, very simple website would be this. So HTML, opening up the HTML page, title, HTML, close title, so it puts the title at the top, says HTML. Then it starts the body of the page. It then says, this is HTML, and then it closes the body again, and then it closes the HTML. Now, the best way of doing this would kind of work, but it would be much better if you had p tags before and after that, just to show that's a line of writing. But that would work because it kind of does it for you, but don't rely on that because you end up getting bugs in your website if you're trying to do things like that. So example tags, make sure you know a few, because there's sort of things that come up on the exam. They say, well, what tag would you use for a table or something like that, and you have to pick which one it would be. So make sure you know a nice range of tags. Right, hotspots. Not that sort of hotspot. These are invisible hyperlinks. So we all know hyperlinks on text. They're normally underlined, they're a different colour, they're easy to see. A hotspot will be an area of the web page that's been dedicated as if you hover over it, it will turn into a link or it will do something. So they're normally on images. So when I put this into my PowerPoint presentation, I have to remove the hyperlink on it because I got this from a website. If I click on it accidentally, what will happen is I will then be sent straight to the website that this page came from, and it will hide my PowerPoint presentation, which is annoying. It's happened in the first video, I think. And occasionally I have little images that come up and the hyperlink turns up here to show that it's still attached. Doesn't look very good, so I always remove the hyperlinks now when I remember, but sometimes I forget. But I could just have maybe this part of the image could be put in as a hotspot. You'd hover over it, you click on it, and it would then take you to possibly another page about the sun. You might have a separate bit of the image which might be a hotspot that takes you somewhere else. So if you had maybe a map of a tourist attraction of some sort, like Thorpe Park, you could have an interactive map that, depending on which bit of the map you're in, you can click on it, it would then take you to the information about that particular ride or that particular attraction. So you've got those kind of things. It will always activate a function. Most of the time it just opens up a new page, it's a hyperlink, but you can use it to do things like start and stop videos. You can use it to open brand new pop-ups, that kind of stuff, and those sorts of things as well. So that's hotspots. So invisible hyperlinks, you can add two images or different parts of your website, and then they'll do something like a link when you click on it. Right, search engines. Last one for this one. So there are billions of web pages out there. There are millions being made every single day. There's quite a few thousand, I seem to remember, being made every single second. So there's an awful lot of new pages going out there. So you'd never find what you were looking for if you just had to search through them manually. So we need an easier way of doing that, and that's what we use search engines for. So whether it's Google or Yahoo or Bing or Ask Jeeves or any of the other ones that you might be using, you're going to use those, and they're going to help you find what you're looking for. Now, how they work is they have these things called crawlers. Sometimes they're called bots or spiders, but web crawlers is probably the most common one. And what the crawlers do is they're little programs, and they go around all the websites they can find, and they have a little look, they read the text that's on there, and they hide that away, they save that away on a server somewhere. They then look for any different hyperlinks that are on there, and then they'll go and investigate those hyperlinks later on, and that's how they find new pages, because hopefully there'll be a link to that page from another one. They find new pages like that, and they go through, and then what happens in the end, they put all of that info into a big index on a server. So basically a copy of all the text that's on every single website, and then it will start to sort it out into different sections. So when you then type something in, it will be looking for those words in those indexes. If it finds it, it will bring up those pages, and that's kind of how your search engines work. And by doing that, it means you can type in whatever you like, and it should come up with some pages that are relevant. Doesn't always work, but it's pretty good, as you know, because you'll be using search engines all the time, and they get more and more sophisticated as they go on. This is just a very basic explanation of how it works. You could probably do a degree on how search engines work, but we're not going into that. Just leave it as it is. So I think that's the last one. It is. So thank you for listening to that one, and that's our lot for the World Wide Web and the Internet now. So just a few more to go before we finish off Unit 1. See you later.